Good evening. Surround yourself with people who talk about visions and ideas, not about other people. Welcome to BMC News Live in English. I am Vinod Narayan, joining you with the daily news updates. Today's headlines. His Royal Highness Prince Salman and Abu Dhabi Crown Prince signed key Bahrain UAE agreements. Parliamentary committee to monitor job push in public and private sector. New Prince Salman medal for COVID-19 frontliners approved. Bahrain-India relations heading towards further development. Retired expatriates can now stay in the UAE after their retirement. News in detail. His Royal Highness Prince Salman and Abu Dhabi Crown Prince signed key Bahrain-UAE agreements. Bahrain and the UAE achieved another milestone in their bilateral development cooperation when they signed important agreements across various sectors. This came as His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, conducted his fruitful official visit to the UAE. His Royal Highness Prince Salman met with the Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the UAE Armed Forces, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. They reviewed long-standing relations between the two countries and explored ways to enhance bilateral cooperation as well as discussed regional and international developments. Bahrain and UAE signed Memorandum of Understanding on Cyber Security Cooperation. Chief Executive Officer of the National Cyber Security Center at the Ministry of Interior, Sheikh Salman bin Mohammed Al Khalifa, has stressed the advanced level reached by relations between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates, praising the two brotherly countries' cooperation and coordination, particularly in cyber security. Under the agreement, the two countries exchange information about cyber security risks and response to information security incidents. They shall also exchange educational and training programs on information security and awareness. Bahrain and UAE mutual agreement to boost trade. Bahrain and the UAE yesterday vowed to strengthen economic relationships and boost trade by removing regulatory obstacles and creating an appropriate environment for businesses. The countries issued a joint communique following the official visit of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, Crown Prince and Prime Minister, to the UAE. Bahrain-UAE Program for Educational Cooperation. Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Abdul Latif bin Rashid Al Zayani and the UAE Minister of State for Advanced Technology Sarah bint Yusuf Al Amiri signed the Executive Program for Cooperation in Education for the years 2021, 2022, 2023 and a Memorandum of Understanding between the Ministries of Education in the two countries regarding cooperation in the field of higher education. Dr. Al Zayani also signed the Declaration of Sovereignty over Data Agreement between the Kingdom of Bahrain and the UAE. The minister was part of the official delegation accompanying His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, on his official visit to the UAE. BHP and ADS signed high-level strategic partnership as part of the official visit of a strategic partnership signed between Abu Dhabi Securities Exchange ADX and Bahrain Bourse BHP. The partnership aims to achieve synergies and greater cross-border cooperation to enhance market liquidity, including direct market access and the issuance of exchange-traded funds. Parliamentary Committee to monitor job push in public and private sector. A new parliamentary committee has been constituted to follow up Bahrainization in the private and public sectors. The committee, formed yesterday following a unanimous vote, will review all government mechanisms and procedures to replace expatriates with capable Bahrainis in all fields. New Prince Salman medal for COVID-19 frontliners approved. The House of Representatives approved a decree law to create a new medal in the name of Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa Medal for medical merit which will be awarded to the medical staff at the front lines. MB Ibrahim Al Nafei praised the Royal Order of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa to create the award. He stressed that His Majesty the King's appreciation for the great efforts of doctors, nurses, and medical staff represents an extension of his generous care and lofty support to frontliners in the fight against the coronavirus. Al-Nafei congratulated His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, for naming the medal in his name. Bahrain's national gender balance model highlighted. Bahrain has started transferring its approach of promoting gender balance to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, said Supreme Council for Women Secretary General Hala Al-Ansari. The step was announced amid Saudi keen interest in promoting the status of women and enhancing their integration into public affairs and the labor market, as well as their contribution to development. The Saudi Institute of Public Inspiration has recently unveiled a plan to set a center for promoting gender balance in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Mumtalakat and Mubadala established joint fund. During the official visit of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister to the United Arab Emirates, the Chief Executive Officer of Bahrain Mumtalakat Holding Company, the Sovereign Wealth Fund of the Kingdom of Bahrain, His Excellency Khalid Al Rumaihi, met with the MD and group of CEO of Mubadala Investment Company, His Excellency Khaldun Khalifa Al Mubarak. Following discussions, the two entities agreed to collaborate on areas of mutual interest and encourage cooperation in investments beneficial to the interests of both Bahrain and the United Arab Emirates. They further agreed to establish a joint investment fund for projects in both countries and abroad. Cityscape heads to Bahrain as Kingdom's Real Estate Regulatory Authority signs deal with Informa Markets. Informa Markets, organizers of the leading Cityscape Real Estate Exhibition Series, will launch Cityscape Bahrain at the all-new Bahrain International Exhibition and Convention Center next year, following a landmark agreement with the Kingdom's Real Estate Regulatory Authority, struck at this week's Cityscape Global Exhibition, which runs until November 11 at Expo 2020 Dubai. The agreement was signed by Mr. Abdullah A. Rahman Al-Kuhaji, the authority's Director of Policies and Strategic Planning Directorate Secretary of the Board of Directors, and Chris Peller, Group Director at Informa Markets. The live and in-person event is being held in adherence with the Informa Al-Secure and enhanced health and safety standards that raise the bar on safe, hygienic, productive, and high-quality organized event experiences. Minister of Oil patronized the 7th Leadership Excellence for Women Awards and Symposium 2021 ceremony. Oil Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Khalifa inaugurated the distribution ceremony of the 7th Leadership Excellence for Women Awards and Symposium at the Gulf Hotel yesterday. The event aimed to honor the leading women in the field of energy for their excellence in their work, initiatives, and the remarkable level they achieved during their work in accordance with international regional standards. It also aims to improve the reality of women in the Middle East and the GCC countries in order to contribute in promoting the principle of equal opportunities to ensure competitiveness and ensure the municipality and diversity of options available for women at the economic and social levels. The Minister of Oil Sheikh Mohammed bin Khalifa Al Khalifa and Lewis 2021 President Faisal Al Haji and S Al Manai honored the winners of the 7 categories in accordance with the jury's decision. The events of the Leadership Excellence for Women Awards and Symposium will be inaugurated on November 23rd under the patronage of the Minister of Oil. Road closure announced on Sitra Bridge. Works Ministry said that the maintenance work on the expansion joints of Sitra Bridge necessitate the closure of the slow lane, and 2 lanes will be provided for southbound traffic going to Sitra. The closure will be effective from Thursday at 11 p.m. to Sunday at 5 a.m. Bahrain reports 15 new COVID-19 cases and 41 recoveries. Out of 14,241 COVID-19 tests carried out on 9th November, 15 new cases have been detected among 4 expatriate workers, 10 new cases are contacts of active cases, and 1 travel-related. There were 41 recoveries from COVID-19. There are currently 3 COVID-19 cases in a critical condition and 6 cases receiving treatment. 313 are stable out of a total of 316 active cases. Now we will be back after a very short break.
All your favorite products under one roof in Bahrain at 27-year-old Megamart and Macromart. Bakery, fresh meat and fish, fruits and vegetables, sweets and snacks, ready-to-eat foods, dairy products, grocery or consumer goods. To have a wonderful shopping experience, please visit your nearest Megamart Macromart branch. Megamart and Macromart, full of goodness.
Every piece of jewelry tells a story. Its raw beauty speaks of its natural origins. The brilliant design speaks of unparalleled craftsmanship. Its elegance evokes the passion and energy of those who wear it. At Al Siraj Jewelry, our story, our pride.
Welcome back. Bahrain-India relations heading towards further development. His Highness Sheikh Nasser bin Hamad Al Khalifa, representative of His Majesty the King for Humanitarian Work and Youth Affairs, has affirmed that the historic and exceptional Bahrain-India relations embody the support of His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa and the interest of His Royal Highness Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa, the Crown Prince and Prime Minister, stating that these links are heading towards further development and prosperity across various fields. His Highness remarks came during his reception of His Excellency Mr. Piyush Srivastava, Indian Ambassador to Bahrain. The meeting discussed topics of mutual interest, including cementing the ties among both countries. Saudi Arabia allows non-Saudis to invest in real estate funds in Mecca and Medina. Saudi Arabia's Capital Market Authority has allowed the financial market institutions to accept subscriptions of non-Saudis in the real estate fund that invests part of all of its assets in a real estate located within the boundaries of the cities of Mecca and Medina. The authority said in a statement on Monday. The authorities stressed the necessity of financial institutions to adhere to the provisions of the law that allows non-Saudis to own and invest in real estate of investment funds located within the boundaries of Mecca and Medina, or when liquidating those funds. Saudi expatriates can make quarterly payment of dependence fee. The General Directorate of Passports announced that expatriates in the kingdom can make quarterly payment of the fee for their dependents and companions when they renew their residency permit on a quarter-of-a-year basis. Expatriates can make the payment through the updated government payments system available at all the Saudi local banks. Retired expatriates can now stay in the UAE after their retirement. The UAE cabinet on Tuesday approved the new visa scheme during a meeting chaired by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, Vice President, Prime Minister and ruler of Dubai. The meeting was held at Expo 2020 Dubai. Visitors of all nationalities are now able to work 5-year multiple entry tourist visas to UAE. With the visa, tourists can enter the UAE multiple times on self-sponsorship and remain in the country for 90 days on each visit, which can be extended for another 19 days. Abu Dhabi has been officially designated as a city of music by the UNESCO Creative City Network. The designation was announced on 8th November by the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization's Creative City Network, an initiative launched in 2004 to promote cooperation among cities that recognize creativity as a major factor in their sustainable urban development plans, Emirates News Agency reported. A range of new exhibitions to join Dubai Air Show 2021. Dubai Air Show 2021 is set to welcome over 370 new exhibitors this year, in addition to the major local and global players in aerospace, defense and space, which have been part of the Aero Show's previous editions. New exhibitors will be joining from the wide range of countries including Belgium, Ukraine, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, Greece, Israel, Switzerland, Brazil, Czech Republic, Canada and Russia. UNESCO Director General re-elected for second term with massive support. Audrey Azoulay was re-elected to the post of Director General of UNESCO with the massive support of the organization's 193 member states. Azoulay's re-election took place in a spirit of consensus with the overwhelming backing of UNESCO member states, obtaining 155 votes out of a 169 ballot cast. UNESCO said, over the past 4 years, UNESCO has undergone a significant modernization process to improve the efficiency of its actions. WHO warns of looming COVID-19 syringe shortage. The World Health Organization warned on Tuesday that another challenge was looming in the effort of vaccinate the planet, a shortage of syringes. There could be a shortfall of 1 to 2 billion syringes next year, WHO specialist Lisa Hetman said Tuesday in Geneva. Poorer countries, which often place small orders and therefore do not have priority with manufacturers, could be particularly affected. Nobel Peace Prize winner Malala marries at home in Britain. Malala Yousafzai, the campaigner for girls' education and a Nobel Peace Prize laureate who survived being shot aged 15 by a Taliban gunman in her native Pakistan in 2012, has got married, she said on social media on Tuesday. The 24-year-old who lives in Britain said she and her new husband, who she named only as Asser, had wed in the city of Birmingham and celebrated at home with their families. Loss of glaciers will hurt tourism, power supplies and more. From the southern border of Germany to the highest peaks in Africa, glaciers around the world had served as money-making tourist attractions, natural climate records for scientists and beacons of beliefs of indigenous groups. With many glaciers rapidly melting because of climate change, the disappearance of the ice sheet is sure to deal a blow to countries and communities that have relied on them for generations to make electricity, to draw visitors, and to uphold ancient spiritual traditions. The ice masses that formed over millennia from compacted snow have been melting since around the time of the Industrial Revolution, a process that has accelerated in recent years. SpaceX returns 4 astronauts to Earth, ending 200-day flight. 4 astronauts returned to Earth on Monday, riding home with SpaceX to end a 200-day space station mission that began last spring. The capsule streaked through the late-night sky like a dazzling meteor before parachuting into the Gulf of Mexico off the coast of Florida. Recovery boats quickly moved in with spotlights. With that, we come to the end of today's news. Stay tuned for daily news updates in BMC News Live English at 7:30 p.m. every day. I am Vinod Narayanan signing off from BMC News Live. Good night.